school teams vie for the academic championship of our viewing area. This is Public TV's Scholars Bowl.
Welcome back, viewers. We have only 8 teams left out of the 55 high schools that started Scholars Bowl 2003. And today is the first game of our quarterfinals. I'm Diana Morgan, Community Relations Manager of the News Sentinel and moderator of the Scholars Bowl. University of Tennessee is proud to present to you these 2 teams in the quarterfinals, West High of Knoxville and Daniel Boone High School of Gray, Tennessee. Let's go meet the teams. You're going to remember, I think, these students. Patrick Harrison at West High is a junior. He plays in the band and is a member of the Science Olympiad team. Andrew Whaley is a senior now. He is a National Merit Commended Scholar and is captain of the History Bowl team. Tong Hao is captain of the West High Academic Competitors. He plays in the band. He also is in the Science Olympiad and also is a National Merit Commended Scholar. Amy Jendrick is a junior. She is a member of the Model UN team, and she is assistant editor-in-chief of the school newspaper. The alternates for West High include Laura Lockwood, Tu Young Moo, Zach Hall, and Derek Bast. The principal of West High is Barbara Jenkins, who has been here before with the students. And the team is coached by Carolyn Jones, who teaches English and has brought this team to winning the Scholars Bowl 2 years in a row, I believe. So welcome back. Daniel Boone High School in Gray, Tennessee has back for it again Megan Edwards. Megan is a junior now. She's secretary of the student council there and is in the band playing French horn. With her is Stephen Gagney. Stephen is a senior. He is an Eagle Scout and president of the chess club. The returning captain of the team is Braxton Sluter. Braxton, a senior, is president of the student council and secretary-treasurer of the Key Club. Allison Pierce is another senior at Daniel Boone. She is president of the Key Club and vice president of the National Honor Society. The alternates for Daniel Boone include Alex Cox, Eric Reniger, Andrew Burgess, and Rebecca Harris. The Daniel Boone team is co-coached by the chemistry and physics teacher there, Mike Taylor, and the head of the ROTC program, Major Stephen Sessis. So welcome back, coaches, and welcome back, teams. Viewers, I think you're going to enjoy this. You know that the winner of this year's Scholars Bowl may choose to go to a national academic competition in one of several major locations in the United States. In addition, they're competing for the $1,000 travel stipend and the coaches for a fully loaded computer from the University of Tennessee. Captains Braxton and Tong, are your teams ready? Good luck to you both. And viewers, let's see how you do at home. Here's the first toss-up for 10 points, and it's geometry. Find the area of a trapezoid with bases measuring 22 meters and 26 meters and an altitude measuring 14 meters. Daniel Boone Allison.
38.
Incorrect. West. Tong.
330.
Incorrect. 336 square meters. No score on the first toss-up. Here's another one. This is science for you. When bacteria breaks down proteins in decaying plants and animals, what is released? Daniel Boone Braxton.
Nitrogen.
Incorrect. West. Patrick.
Ammonia.
Ammonia, correct. Good science, 10 points to West. Here is your bonus. West, 2 of the Reverend Martin Luther King's most famous speeches were about a dream he had and a mountaintop and what he saw there. Now, for 10 points each, name the 2 cities where these 2 speeches were made.
Memphis and Washington, D.C.
That is correct. That in Washington was the largest civil rights gathering in the history on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and in Memphis it was from the night before he was killed. 20 points. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, this is literature. Diedrich Knickerbocker was the pen name for what Daniel Boone. Allison.
Washington Irving.
It was his pen name. Early American writer, 10 points on American literature, Daniel Boone. Here is your bonus. You may want your pens and papers for this, Daniel Boone. A yardstick standing vertically casts a shadow 30 inches long. For 20 points, what is the height of a tree which at the same time casts a shadow 35 feet long? No answer in time? The yardstick was cast in a shadow 30 inches. The tree was 35 feet long. Your answer would have been 42 feet or 14 yards. No score. Here's a chemistry biology toss-up for 10. Teams, nitrogen is important to plants and animals because it is the building block for what compound? West, Tong.
Chlorophyll.
Incorrect. Daniel Boone. Allison.
Chlorophyll.
Incorrect. It's proteins. No score. Here's a toss-up for 10. World geography. Teams, name the river that flows through the city of Paris, France. West, Andrew.
Seine.
The Seine, correct, for 10 points on world geography. Here is an astronomy bonus for you, West, for 20. Pieces of which object hit Jupiter in July 1994?
Shoemaker-Levy 9.
That is correct. The comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, 20 points. Good astronomy. Here's a toss-up for 10. U.S. geography here. If you stood on the northeastern coast of Long Island and looked across Long Island Sound west, Andrew,
Connecticut.
you would see Connecticut. 10 points on U.S. geography. Here is a history bonus for you, West, two-parter, 10 points each. In 1789, the United States' first Secretary of State and first Chief Justice were appointed. Who was the first Secretary and who was the first Chief Justice?
Jay was the first Chief Justice, and Jefferson was the state.
Correct for 20 points on U.S. history. Here's a toss-up for 10. This is astronomy, teams. Give me another name for the North Star. West, Tong.
Polaris.
Polaris for 10 points. Here is a four-part world history for you, West, 5 points each. I'm going to give you 4 American cities, and you give me the nationality of the founders. New York City.
Dutch.
Correct for 5. Jamestown, Virginia.
English.
Correct for 5. New Orleans, Louisiana.
French.
Correct for 5. St. Augustine, Florida.
Spanish.
Correct for 5. 20 points. Although you could say the Spanish were down in New Orleans also, but historically it's the other. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, literature. This writer's well-known works include A Study in Scarlet, West, Tong.
Doyle.
It is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle who created Sherlock Holmes. 10 points. Space travel, 2002. 20 points. The shuttle Endeavour slipped into the docking port on Thanksgiving. How many orbital days did it take the Endeavour to reach the International Space Station?
Three.
Incorrect. It was a 2 orbital day journey. No score. Close. Here's a toss-up for 10. This is mathematics, teams. If the diameters of 2 circles are in the ratio 7:1, what is the ratio of their areas? It would have been 49:1. No score on that. Astronomy, teams, for 10 points. This is the second planet from the sun. West, Tong.
Venus.
It is Venus. 10 points, and here is your bonus. This is music. Identify the composers of these 2 operas that are performed in German. Fidelio.
Beethoven.
Correct for 10. And The Marriage of Figaro.
Mozart.
Mozart for 10. 20 points on your music. Here's a toss-up. Literature, teams. In Through the Looking Glass, Daniel Boone, Megan. Question goes to West, and I will complete it. In Through the Looking Glass, whom does Alice insult by telling him he looks like an egg? West, Amy.
Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty is correct for 10 points. Here's your bonus, West. 2-parter, 10 points each. This is going to be presidential numbers. How many years did George Washington serve as president?
8.
Correct for 10. And what is the minimum age to be a U.S. president?
35.
Correct for 10. 20 points on the U.S. Constitution. Here's an entertainment toss-up for you teams for 10. In 1889, this Paris nightclub opens its doors to the public. It is a very famous nightclub. Daniel Boone Braxton.
The Moulin Rouge.
It is the Moulin Rouge, the Red Mill, featured in many paintings, the name of a movie, and who knows what else. 10 points. We're talking about the newspaper industry, one of my favorite topics here, Daniel Boone. 20-point bonus for you. What newspaper publisher organized the first major newspaper chain in the United States? He did it in 1895.
Randolph Hearst.
It was E.W. Scripps, of which the New Sentinel is a company. No score on that. Old E.W. is in our lobby in our new building, incidentally. Here's a toss-up for 10 teams. What Canadian city is called the gateway to the St. Lawrence River? West, Tong.
Montreal.
Montreal for 10 on geography. Here is your bonus. Answer these questions about the names of the states. Which state got its name because Indians live there?
Indiana.
Indiana for 10. And what state's name means snowclad in Spanish?
Nevada.
Nevada, correct. 20 points on names. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, this is in the arts and drama. Where is the famous Abbey Theater located? Daniel Boone Stephen.
New York.
Incorrect. After the bell, we do not accept. It was Dublin, Ireland. No score on that. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, science. What is the name for any rod-shaped bacterium? West, Tong.
Bacilli.
Bacilli or bacillus in the singular, 10 points. Here is your toss-up. History for you, West, for 10 points each. In 1752, 11 days in September never happened as England adopted a new calendar. People rioted. They thought the government had stolen 11 days of their lives. Now for 10 points each, which calendar did they abandon and which did they adopt?
Abandoned Julian and went to Gregorian.
That is correct for 20 points. Here's a science toss-up for 10 teams. Meiosis and mitosis are both process of West, Tong.
Cell division.
Cell division, that is correct for 10 points. And here is your bonus. West, Tokyo is the largest city in the world that begins with the letter T. What Brazilian city is the largest city in the world whose names begin with S?
Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo for 20 geography points. Here's a toss-up for 10 teams. What title does the head of the United States Justice Department hold? We accept West. Andrew.
Attorney General.
Attorney General for 10, and that's the end of the first half. A very fast West High team scoring 290 points to Daniel Boone's 20 points. Viewers, this is a good game. There are a lot of hard questions here. We'll see you after the half.
This year's Scholars Bowl competition is a single elimination tournament featuring 56 teams from high schools in our viewing area. Be sure to watch these upcoming games. The winning team in this year's Scholars Bowl tournament will receive the Scholars Bowl Traveling Trophy. The championship team will also receive a $1,000 stipend from the News Sentinel to be used to travel to the National Academic Team Competition. In addition, the top placing teams will receive plaques identifying their finish in this year's tournament. Also, the University of Tennessee will be presenting the championship team a new computer for their school's use. The judges for this year's Scholars Bowl tournament are Dr. Richard Hobart, retired physician, and Dr. Paul L. Kelly, retired educator and member of the Knox County Board of Education. Both are members of the Board of Trustees of these public TV stations. Also judging this year is Cody Steele, mathematician. Our scorekeeper is Annie Parrott, a public TV volunteer. Scholars Bowl 2003 is made possible in part by grants from the News Sentinel and the University of Tennessee, two area institutions that are interested in showcasing the academic excellence of our area high school students. Each student and coach participating in this year's Scholars Bowl will receive the new Scholars Bowl t-shirt. If you'd like to enter your high school team in next year's Scholars Bowl, or for more information or comments on this year's tournament, write to the address shown on the screen.
Welcome back to this first game of the quarterfinals, viewers. And the score at the end of the first half was West High of Knoxville 290 and Daniel Boone of Gray, Tennessee with 20. Carolyn Jones, the English teacher who coaches the West team, has brought in two alternates. Both have been with us before. Let's go to meet them before we continue. The first is Derek Bass. Derek is a sophomore at West. And with Derek, we have back again Zach Hall. Zach is a junior. Glad to have you both with us. Our co-coaches at Daniel Boone, Mike Taylor and Major Steve Sussis, have brought back one alternate. This is Andrew Burgess. And Andrew, you are a senior, is that correct? Welcome. We're glad to have you both in. Teams, the questions are hard. I can tell some of you are having fun on this. We wish you good luck. Here's your first toss-up for the second half. The restored colonial city of Williamsburg, Virginia, has many examples of which style? West, Tong.
Georgian.
It is Georgian architecture, which was popular in the Americas in 1700s. First score to West for 10 points. There are three acceptable spellings, West, of this word, which refers to a human figure used by tailors and clothing stores. For 10 points, identify the word, and for another 10 points, give me any one of the three possible spellings.
Word is mannequin.
Correct.
And MANNEQUIN.
That is correct. That is the French spelling. It could also be viewers MANIKIN or MANNIKIN. 20 points on that to West on vocabulary. Here's a science question for you teens for 10. Frogs use what part of their body? West, tongue.
Tongue.
Their tongue, right, to catch insects. 10 points. Must be the only part of their body, West, they use. Here is your bonus. We'll see how much you know about the United Nations here. For 20 points, all or nothing on this, name 4 of the 6 official languages of the United Nations.
Arabic, Russian, English, French.
That is correct. The others could also be Spanish and Chinese for 20 points on the United Nations. Here's a language arts toss-up for 10 teams. A condensed version of a conjugation which takes one person and number through all tenses, moods, and voices is called what? It is a synopsis. synopsis. Here's a toss-up for 10. Ophelia was a character in which Shakespeare West Tong?
Hamlet.
I thought I'd get that in before you rang in. It was Hamlet. 10 points on that. Here is your bonus. More literature for you. This is the first stanza from a famous poem by a famous 19th century American poet. Success is counted sweetest by those who ne'er succeed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. First and last name of the poet.
William Wordsworth.
It was Emily Dickinson. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, spell the superlative of flat. West, Tong.
FLATTEST.
That is correct. Flattest is the superlative. More flat would be the comparative. Here is your bonus. Let's cook a little bit here, West. Give the verb that I am defining by these two cooking terms, 10 points each. To moisten food while it cooks by spooning on fat or a liquid.
Baste.
Correct for 10. To brown meat slowly in hot fat.
No answer.
That is to braise when you do it slowly in hot fat. 10 points on your bonus, West. Here's a toss-up for 10. Team's geography. Name the southernmost state of the United States. West, Andrew.
Hawaii.
Hawaii for 10. Probably broke the bells on that. Here's your bonus. I want you to identify these advertising slogans because advertising makes the world go around. All of these are slogans that are over 50 years old, so we're checking your memory. It never rains, but it pours.
Morton Salt.
Correct for 5. Instrument of the Immortals.
No answer.
Steinway pianos. What product covers the earth?
No answer.
That's Sherwin-Williams paint. And what made Milwaukee famous?
Beer.
Beer is correct. Schlitz beer was the answer. You have 5 for Morton Salt. Here's a toss-up for 10. Math. 2 numbers total 48. If one number is 10 more than the other number, what are the 2 numbers? Daniel Boone, Andrew.
28 and 18.
Incorrect. West. We accept after the bell. 29 and 19 for 48. Here's a toss-up for 10. The structure through which nutrients and oxygen pass from the mother to the developing young is known. West. Zach.
Umbilical cord.
I'm going to defer that to our judges to see if they are going to accept that. Yes, our judges include Dr. Richard Hobart, a retired physician, and Dr. Paul Kelly, professor of English. Placenta was another alternative on that, but 10 points on that answer. We're into law on your bonus, West. These laws could retroactively increase the penalty for a crime or make an act criminal after it had been committed. It's unfair, so the Constitution prohibits them. What are they called?
Ex post facto laws.
That is correct for 20 points. Here's a toss-up, mathematics for you teams for 10. 2/5 of 125 is equal to 5/2 of what number? No score on that. Here's a toss-up. Teams, name the missionary who opened a hospital in Africa in 1913 and received the Nobel Prize. West, Tong.
Schweitzer.
Schweitzer. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1952 for his work. 10 points. Here is a history bonus for West. 2-parter, 10 points each. I'll name 2 battles, and you increase this Battle of Brain score by giving the respective war. Brandywine Creek.
Revolutionary War.
Correct for 10. Plattsburgh or Lake Champlain.
War of 1812.
Correct for 20 points. Here's a toss-up for 10. Teams, what is the term, which means an index listing every occasion on which individual words are used in a particular text, such as the Bible or Shakespeare's play? Daniel Boone, Megan.
Concordance.
Concordance, good answer, 10 points. Here is your bonus. Daniel Boone, on the Celsius scale, what is the boiling point of water?
100.
100 degrees is correct for 20 points. Here's a language arts toss-up for you. This science fiction writer is so prolific under his own name that he published some of his work under the name of Bachman. West, Zach.
King.
It is Stephen King. 10 points on current popular literature. Here's your bonus. 2-parter, 10 points each. Identify these animals sharing the word white. A gift you really don't need is called?
White elephant.
Correct for 10. A nickname for a Hereford is?
Whiteface.
Whiteface. Those are cattle. 20 points on that. Here's a toss-up for you. Teams, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the United States. Daniel Boone, Megan.
The rights of blacks.
Incorrect. I'm going to complete it for West. Those amendments to the United States Constitution are generally grouped together and called what wars amendments? West, Andrew.
Civil War amendments.
Civil War. Well, that is the captain of the History Bowl, is it not? 10 points on that, West. A man from Naples is called a Neapolitan. Now, what do we call the residents of these cities? A person from Paris.
Parisian.
Parisian for 10. From Florence.
Florentine.
Florentine, 20 points on that. Here's a toss-up for 10. Many materials allow some light to pass through them, but the tie ring in, we throw the question out. Viewers, I'm going to answer this. You can't see objects through them. Such materials are said to be translucent. Both Derek and Allison rang in at the same time. Teams, what do we call the group of Indo-European languages that are descended from Latin? West, Tong.
Romance language.
Romance languages, including Romanian. 10 points here is your bonus. Identify the human teeth which fit these descriptions, West. 10 points each. They are the back or grinding teeth.
Molars.
Correct for 10. They are the front or cutting teeth.
Incisors.
Correct for 10. 20 points. Here is a toss-up for you. Teams, spell the plural of datum. West, Tong.
DATA.
DATA, data, is the plural of datum. 10 points. You're on a roll here, West. Here is a bonus for you for 20. The smallest particle of an element or compound that has all the properties of that substance is called what?
Molecule.
Molecule for 20 on your science. Toss-up. That's the end of our game, and I do believe this may be one of our highest-scoring games that we've had. West High takes it 575 to Daniel Boone 50. Give them a hand. Both teams, you did a good job. Braxton, good for you. Congratulations. And it's on to the semifinals for West. Viewers, goodbye from the News Sentinel and the University of Tennessee. We'll see you tomorrow.